Hey guys, this is me, Jennifer Priest, and today I want to talk to you about Facebook. Facebook kind of went a crazy apocalypse in January. There were so many changes, and everyone's been kind of struggling to figure out what their strategy is going to be. And so I've been kind of really looking at what Facebook said they were going to be changing, and then also getting some information like from friends of mine who have gone and talked to people at Facebook since the change was made, and also other Facebook experts that are out there, just getting info from them, like, okay, what are they doing? And I really dug into like what Facebook said they were going to be changing, because this is such a huge issue. I mean, years ago, Facebook used to be this great traffic source, and then, you could still make money from it with affiliate links last year, and you could still get some traffic, etc. But Katie, you've got to turn the volume off. Katie's in the other room. Anyway, so I don't know if she heard me to turn off the volume, but anyway, so yeah, you could still make money with it. You could still get some traffic from it, and you could get like good reach on your posts and stuff last year. But this year, everything changed. And so today I'm going to talk to you guys about what I'm doing on my other Facebook page, Smart Fun DIY, so that you can get some insight from that. I'm going to show a few slides from a presentation that I did at Craftcation, which is a conference for makers this month. It's April. It was this month that I was at Craftcation. Oh my gosh, like time is flying by so fast. So I'll show you a couple of those slides, and then I'm going to show you the back end of my Facebook page to tell you about like how I'm doing my strategy. So I'm going to share my screen. So right now it's on my Facebook page. I'm going to minimize myself. Okay, so Facebook did this thing. I don't know if it lets me do it in presentation mode. Oh, it does. But let's see, minimize this. It's like you don't know if stuff's going to work or not until you're like actually on here doing it. And then you realize if it is or isn't going to work. And one thing I want to ask you guys before we start is, if you at any point find that anything in here is valuable, please give me like hearts or likes so that I know that that's something that you like. And also, I'd appreciate it if you shared this. Now on mobile, you can even share it, which is so cool because we didn't used to have that before. So at the bottom, there's like a little arrow where you can share it. And then also, if you have any questions or comments, you agree, you disagree, whatever, put them down in the comment section while we're live, because then I can answer your questions. So that's the benefit of this over like a, just pre-recorded thing, right? So you can ask me questions live. And I'm watching in my Facebook group, and let me refresh in the Facebook group. So I'm actually going to normally have my desktop set up a little bit better than what I have at the moment. But actually, I'm setting up my screen. Maybe I should show you guys this so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this way I can look and see if there's any comments or questions or anything like that. All right, so this is what happened on Facebook. Is they did this thing called, it was in January 11th, Social Media Examiner called it Facebook Zero. They made this announcement. It should let me click it. Let's see. Is it going to open up? Open up. Yep, there it is. Okay, so this is what happened. Mark Zuckerberg made this post, 29,000 shares, and he talked about, what they're going to be doing and changing at Facebook. So the biggest thing that they talked about was that they're looking for meaningful engagement. So what does meaningful mean? Longer comments, person-to-person type of comments, not necessarily GIFs or emojis or few words. And in so many words, over multiple different announcements that Facebook made, this is kind of what they said they're looking for. You kind of have to glean this from what they announced. So, and this is not, usually when they roll out something, it's like, this is for groups or this is for pages. But Facebook said this is across their entire platform. So it's groups, it's your personal profile, it's your pages, etc. It's everywhere on Facebook. Excuse me. So they also changed the reach calculation. So it used to be like if we were looking at our Facebook feed, let me see if I can pull up the other window that I have here. If we were over here on home looking at our Facebook feed, it loads like so many things and then it has to load some more. So it used to be, it kind of loads a few things down here that we don't see. It used to be that it counted that as reach, even if it didn't actually touch the screen. Now it's only counting things for reach if it actually touches your screen. So let me go back to the page that I was on. All right, so let's see that one. So it's, so your reach number is going to be lower, but you're actually reaching the people that reach says you reach. So a lot of the numbers, you might look at it and go, oh my gosh, my page is doing so bad compared to last year. We can't really compare last year's numbers to this year's numbers because it's calculated very differently. And so a couple things just to kind of keep in mind is that Facebook is not going to be a huge traffic source for you. There are a few companies and people and industries where Facebook is a traffic driver, but in my experience, for the most part, it has not been a huge traffic driver for me since 2013, and it continues to not be able to stand up to the kind of traffic I get from SEO and Facebook and other sources like submission sites, et cetera, like, aggregate content sites. But Facebook is super duper useful for community and for creating ads and also for getting insights into your audience. So I'm going to stop sharing this part of my screen for a minute so I figure out like what part I want to. I didn't mean to open up Photoshop, you guys. It's going to slow my computer down. All right. So yeah, Photoshop is just making everything not work right now. So I'm sorry about that. All right, so there's a few things that I was talking about that I'm going to be doing different on my Facebook page. Let me see. So the first thing that I'm going to do that I've been doing differently is, sorry, I have like so many windows open, you guys. I need to make them small. I don't know. It's just being weird. Okay. So anyways, the first thing that I did is I went into my Facebook Insights to get some more data about what kind of posts in the past I was doing that were getting engagement that Facebook calls meaningful, right? So like, is that, let me just make sure I'm sharing the right thing. Yeah, I am. Okay. Is meaningful engagement, it's the longer comments, it's the not just answering with a GIF. I want to see what posts in the past gave me that volume of comments, right, that I wanted, that Facebook says they want, and the right kind of comments in volume. And then from there, look at the types of content that I posted that got that meaningful reaction, that meaningful interaction that Facebook wants. And then from there, develop a plan. And so this is kind of what we did. We went to, we looked for posts that had more engagement. Of those posts, looked at the comments, collected the posts that had the longer and or person-to-person comments, analyzed those posts, and then developed test content that we started testing. It's almost kind of like a mini class. So I pulled the data from before the change, and now, and this is because I did this in January, right, or February. So I pulled October 2017 through January 2018. I pulled that data so that I could then look at those posts, because at that time, that's all that I had. But now, and this is why I'm doing this Facebook Live now, because I did try to do a Facebook Live about this in January, February, but I brought on a guest and we kind of went off the rails and we started talking about all kind of different stuff. But now what's kind of cool is that we have 3 months of data after the change that we can go look at. And so what I would do now is I would pull my data from like about January 15th or so through April 15th and see, okay, now what content in there. So I do the same test, but what content in there performed well. And so I'm going to do this test, but I'm going to show you guys this as an example. I was looking through my content. This is actually from February. And you want to look for posts that have this kind of stuff going on. So let me find my other window. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to this area. So how do you get to that place that I was just showing you? You're going to go to this area called Insights. This is on your Facebook page, right? Sometimes it's doing good. Sometimes it's doing bad. Sometimes it goes up. Sometimes it goes down. It's not like my number one thing right now. So like, don't judge me. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to overview and then we're going to go to posts. And this tells us all about our posts. So a couple things we can look at is like, we've got the little whale graph here where we can see when our people are on. And that's going to help us figure out the times to post. So everywhere there's a little peak, you probably want to post at those times. But we also have all this other data. And so what we want to do is go through your posts and it's going to tell you your reach is this orange little bar graph. And it'll show organic and paid. I should have something with paid reach in here. Yeah, this one. See, this one has some paid reach on it. But it's doing terrible because see, it's a sponsored post. So it's going to be ratcheted down. But what we also want to look at is we want to see like, okay, which had good reach. But what we really want to look at is what Facebook told us. It kind of is like a chicken and egg kind of thing, or almost like a snowball thing. As the post gets more reactions, comments, and shares, right, that meaningful interaction, Facebook shows it to more people in the feed, which means you get more reach. And so as these things here go up, right, your reactions and comments and shares goes up, usually your reach goes up, but not always the case. So this one has pretty decent, has decent clicks. It doesn't have a lot of reactions and shares. This one's doing really, really good. It has a lot of reactions and shares. This one, reach and reactions and shares are pretty neck and neck. This one too. So we'd want to open up some of these and say, okay, we don't just want to say, well, let's look at this post and say it's amazing. What we want to do after we identify those posts that we think are amazing is we want to go in and look at the comments, the shares, the likes. So it reached 11,000 people, but it only has 4 comments. But let's see. The comments are not really meaningful, right? They're tagging their friends. They are talking back and forth to each other, which is really cool, but it's not really in a lot of volume. But I could take some notes about this and say, you know what? It's funny because people do wonder if there's a real Joanne behind Joanne craft stores, if there's a real Michael behind Michael's craft stores, etc. And so you can... Oh, Micah wants to know, what does touch your screen mean? Okay, so I will answer that in a second. So you can glean some information from looking at these posts to see how they perform and figure out, okay, like what was the magic factor? And that's what we're going to be doing is you want to look at these posts, analyze, it did get where they tagged someone, that person answered back. I'm not in the conversation, right? I'm not making the conversation happen. They're making it happen between each other, but then it kind of ends right there. And so we'd like to see that go even further down where other people are joining in, they're saying longer comments to each other, etc. So how could we take this idea and use that? Okay, so Micah's question says, what does touch your screen mean? So that means like, did it actually display on the screen, not just load, like in the feed, it loads like 20 posts at a time or whatever, so that when you're scrolling, you're not hitting that dead air, essentially. You're not getting like a lag. Facebook used to just load that in a batch of like, let's say 10 posts. Not all 10 are going to show on your phone screen at the same time or on your computer screen. So it was counting that whole batch loading as all of those posts having that reach, even if you didn't scroll down to see the post. Now it's only counting reach if the post touches your screen, like you actually scroll and see it display on the screen. So that's very different from how it was before. Okay, so going back to this thing. So I pulled this post, right? Totally done this before, but with scrapbooking, and I want to analyze it. So I opened the post up. It only has 9 comments, but it has 221 shares, which is really cool. But it just doesn't have a lot of comments in relation to shares. But let's go look at the comments anyway. Oh, I didn't go look at the comments. Okay. Well, you do want to open up the comments on these kind of things. I believe this post is pinned at the top of my page. So I'm going to go and check that page. It may still be pinned at the top. I might have unpinned it though, but it should be pinned at the top. So when you get a good performing page, this is a trick I learned from Rachel Miller. When you get a good performing post, pin it up at the top of your page so that when new people come in here, they're like, oh, that's really cool. It's from February, but they think that it's good because you're kind of like showing like your best stuff off in the beginning. Okay, so I've got more comments, but what I'd want to do is look and see what's the quality of the comments. And I've got comments, but they're not that amazing. They're not going back and forth. And a lot of our comments are memes, or GIFs. So not high quality stuff going on. So that post is a dud. All right, so let's go back to my slides. That was oh, here it is. Duh. Okay, because it says Facebook screenshot, it's like hard to realize where I'm at on the screen. Okay, so anyway, here's another post. This is a Facebook Live. Now, Facebook really, really wants to be like, it wants to take over. It doesn't want you watching YouTube. It wants to be the new YouTube. But also, Facebook also has posted in that announcement and in other announcements that live videos get a reach of 6 to 9 times what a normal post does. So if you're at an event or something like that, take advantage of being able to do live videos because people are looking for that content, but also it's something special and unique that they can't just go to Michael's and take a video, right? They have to be at that event. And so I was at the trade show for the craft industry. Smartphone DIY is a craft page, so it makes sense that I would go live at the trade show. So I did a booth tour. This also, one of the things I did is I asked my followers what they wanted. So I'm at this trade show. There's 300 booths. There's no way I'm going to see them all. So I asked them, what ones do you guys want me to go on a tour of? And they had said Spellbinders. So this was requested from my readers. I also had someone from the booth who's a somewhat celebrity in the craft industry, Yana. I had her take me on the tour of the booth, so they were excited to see her. I used the hashtag for the event, even though I don't like using hashtags on Facebook. This was a time, like if there's an event, use the event hashtag. And so this did pretty well. It got 36 comments, 12 shares. I don't know why somebody gave me angry face, but whatever. I don't like getting the angry face. Okay, so 36 comments. So then after you see that, you want to open up your comments. And so this post got like quality comments, right? We've got Nancy asking a question. I answer. I tag Yana. Yana answers. And then I said thank you to her. Like, that's just me mostly talking. But we got some good questions. There's some other ones on here where there's multiple, like the threads have multiple replies. And it's not just me talking to people. It's people talking to people. But this one does happen to have a lot of me talking to people. So here's another post that did really well. It's these Mickey ears made with flowers. And 16 comments, so not a ton, but the reach was nice. So what I liked about this one was looking at the comments. People were tagging their friends and they were talking back and forth to each other. And so this is getting more along the lines of what Facebook says that they want. Now this was like a golden one. This was a Facebook Live with good comments. And this was my friend Alexa and I. She was visiting me in January and we went to Target and we decided to do a Facebook Live in the dollar store or in the dollar section. So I did put a little bit of money on it just to play with it, but we ended up getting 38 comments and 33 shares. And if you look at the comments here, Alexa and I are commenting, but it's not just us. There's other people commenting in there. I don't know how else I can show you guys. But when we did the research, that post had like so many comments. It was like super good. Okay, so this one, I told you guys I was going to show you how to make these videos, and I will, but these videos are good for getting reach and getting engagement, but it's not necessarily quality engagement. So these are the comments that people were leaving. You know, they left 115 comments because the point of the post was watch this video, take a screenshot, and then post like what it says your craft style is, right? And you can do, I've made a bunch of these. You can do them all kinds of different themes. But basically the comments are mostly people's screenshots and us doing GIFs, or there are other people posting GIFs, not high quality. So another thing that we want to look for is that person-to-person interaction. So this post here was a coffee post, not in the line of what my page should be posting, right? It's our outside of, I want to be focused on craft. But it was interesting because it got 62 comments. And so looking at this, I've got people talking to each other and they're making these longer comments. And the thing that I noticed is, like, this one is so funny. Jennifer Tidwell's like, C, D, or E, depending on how dark my soul is feeling. People put these longer comments and they started talking about stuff. And then they started arguing with each other, not necessarily arguing with each other, but basically making statements like, any darker than coffee B, you know, something's wrong with you. Like, they just started kind of like justifying their choice and explaining it in the comments. And so I thought, you know, there's the virality factor of this. It could be a lot of things. It could be coffee, which I decided it was not that it was coffee. I think the virality factor was that this is something people have an opinion about, and you're forcing them to choose one. And in choosing one, they separated themselves from other people, and then they wanted to explain why they felt they were right. And so I took some notes on that, like, why did I think that was good? So what I figured out for my audience based on, and this was a few of the posts I looked at, right? I looked at so many posts, but this was only a few of them. But based on my overall analysis, I figured out that my people are into nostalgia, right? Like old craft supplies, you know, craft videos from the 80s. Like they're into that kind of stuff, like knowing what an old craft thing was. They're also into those choose one type of posts where you have to choose one thing. And they also want to feel smart or in the know. They like to feel like they are very clever. So everybody wants to feel smart, but my people really want to feel clever. And then they also liked live videos, behind the scenes kind of stuff, and unboxings. And that's just, you know, we didn't go into all those posts here and doing this analysis, but this is something you guys should be doing on your Facebook pages, is digging into this data. So after I did that example analysis, I did some test posts. So I had a Facebook Live with the Raskog cart, this blue cart from IKEA that did really well. So I wanted to test, was the factor that made it perform well the cart, or was it because it was a Facebook Live? So I made this meme, oh my God, Becky, look at her Raskog. And it got some comments. People were like, why is that Raskog empty? Like, people said all kinds of silly stuff. But it didn't get a lot of comments on the actual post. It got comments because I shared it into a Facebook group where it got a lot of person-to-person interaction. And so that boosted the reach up really high. So here's some other test posts that I did. I was combining the choose one idea where they got to pick one, plus the nostalgia for old craft tools that I knew my people liked, and then also tapping into those know-it-all type people who are like, I know what that is. I had that. That was made in 1992. Like, I was trying to be like, how can I combine those ideas into one post? So I made these 3 memes. Basically, it's a lot of the same photos of old craft tools. And then I put, like, they have to only choose one. How many can you name? So the choose one was the choose one idea. The how many can you name was for the know-it-all people. And the which did you have is for the nostalgia people. And then all of it's kind of nostalgia because it's old craft supplies. So after I ran my test, oh my God, I got like so many good comments. People wanted to talk about what it was, how it was. This one down here, see more. She said so much, you have to click see more. This is what Facebook wants, is this person-to-person interaction. Some of it I'm in here talking, but like here, there's other people talking too. So it's not just me, but they're talking to each other. So I've got long comments, photo comments. They're like, look it, here's my picture of my old Sizzix. I mean, they freaking loved this stuff. And then we got replies and person to person. This was on this post. Which did you have? All right, so choose one. Long replies or long comments, replies, and person to person. And there's one of these where they start talking to each other. Here's another one. She says something, but they're talking to each other. I'm like not even hardly involved. They're all talking to each other in here. And then they start talking about Evelyn goes in and she's got all these. Evelyn is like one of my people who's super active on that Facebook page. And she's got all this different sizes, blah, blah, blah. Like they're tagging the brand. They're talking about all this different stuff. I mean, this is gold. Like this is gold because first I know that I nailed it with what my people were into. But the other thing is that this is all good content for me to write blog posts about. So if you're like, I don't know what I'm going to write about, dude, I could write about all this different stuff and I can source for photos from my people. And so I have some ideas for some more content I'm going to make along these lines that I may ask the people on my Facebook page for photos for. All right, so here's another one. How many can you name? So this one, again, long comments, replies, person to person, but this one did start to kind of fizzle. I think they kind of got, this was the third one I posted. They kind of got used to this format. I posted them one a week so that I could see kind of what they were doing. You know, we've got some, I did some meme or some GIF comments, and we got some good long comments in here, but it wasn't as good as the other two. So your turn is analyze your content in Insights, figure out what gets your people excited, test content types and different topics. And so take some notes about like, you know, look for those posts that have the high reach, that have the high comments, and then take notes on like, what do you think made that, you know, well, okay, so you're gonna look for those posts first. Then you're gonna look at the comments and figure out, are these those high quality, meaningful engagement type comments that Facebook is looking for? You know, or is it person to person? Are they longer? Not just a GIF, not just an emoji. And then the posts that have those meaningful comments, meaningful interaction, then you want to take those and say, okay, what is the magic factor, and brainstorm on it. And then you want to make some test posts and run a test and then see, does this stuff perform well? So analyze the results from your test, which I've already done, and then test again. All right, so I'm going to end my slideshow. See if you guys have any questions or comments. Okay, so Yadira says, she'll have to come back later and finish watching. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, this is fun. So right about now, you know, this is 3 months in, I should go and do this again. So I'm here in Insights. I'm going to do it really quick for you guys live. What I want to do, kind of a recap, is I want to do every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. a Facebook Live. And I totally was going to be here on time to do it, but we had to take my truck to the tire shop, and I was on track to get here, but there was a really bad car accident, like there was a car on fire, that we were stopped on the road for like 15 minutes, stuck on this freeway bridge while they cleared all of that out. So that's why I'm late today. But I'd like to start doing these at 9 a.m. every day, 9 a.m. Tuesday and Thursday. Every day would be too much. And I want to start doing more stuff like this. So if there's things that you guys want me to dig into, please let me know, because I would totally love to have more stuff to answer. And if you guys have questions, we do have a Facebook group called Smart Creative Social Community that you can join. I don't know if Katie's around, but if she is, she will drop the link for that down in the comments section. In fact, you know, I can grab it right now and do it myself. Hold on. There you go. Okay, so I dropped it in the comment section for you guys. It should show. Yep, there it is. Okay, so going back to my Facebook page, I'm in Insights. I clicked on the post tab down here, and I want to start identifying those posts that have the higher reach and that have these good interaction numbers. Okay, so we already checked out this post with the 11K, this one, the 6.6K, and some of these, they were already going viral on someone else's page, and then I shared it. So this was doing really, really well. So I only got 3 comments. I got a couple people. Oh, not most relevant. No, I want all. So not that many comments. So that one's kind of a bummer. So let's keep going. 7.2, that's cool. Didn't get as many reactions, but it got clicks, I believe. Video views, reactions. Oh no, not clicks, other clicks. Okay, so clicking on like what it was. So I thought this was silly. I actually shared this from DIY Inspired, and I was like, who's guiding their money this way? I did get some comments, but they weren't necessarily like super useful. They did get, person-to-person interaction, and they put comments on here. And then here there's 3 different people talking, which is pretty cool. So I could gain some insight into this. But yeah, what I could do here is that I know they have all this crazy stuff. This is a crazy video. I could make a video improving upon these ideas, knowing that this is something that they are passionate about, or I can just say, well, this was kind of a fluke. But I could also look at the way that this was edited, because it kept their attention. The part where they're talking about the earrings and plastic wrap and the hairnet and stuff inside the shoe, that's pretty far into the video. So they're watching it for a good amount of time. So I could look at how they edited that video and see if I could make a craft video that would keep their attention that long. Okay, so 2.4K. Those are small. And the other thing that I'm doing differently, and this isn't necessarily a strategy, I guess, but I'm only posting 3 times a day. And some days I'm not even posting those 3 times. I'm scheduling that content. But for the most part, when I'm putting on my page, I'm just posting it live. If I see something really cool in the feed that I think my people are going to like, I'm sharing it to my page right then. I'm not scheduling it. And those posts are doing well. This was one of those. This was one of those. This was one of those. Like, they're not scheduled. You can tell, if you guys want to go look at my page, you can tell the posts that are scheduled are the ones that are at like around 6 a.m., 3 a.m., or 6 a.m., 3 p.m., and 7 p.m. Those are the 3 times I've been scheduling. So if you want to go see what I'm not scheduling, it's posted at times other than those times. So like this one, we literally were sitting at Mimi's this weekend having breakfast, and my daughter showed me this tweet, and I was like, oh my gosh, can you text me that tweet? It's super funny. And so she texted me the image. I posted it while I was sitting in Mimi's because I knew that it was like really funny. This part was a little bit crazy, but I was like, well, let's see how my people react. So Micah wants to know, I didn't schedule those. Yes, I think they did. She says, do you think they did better because I organically posted? I think they did do better because I organically posted. I think because I'm sharing it in real time. I'm sharing it when Facebook has figured out that this content is relevant to me as a crafter, because a lot of the content I interact with is craft content. Facebook's figured out it's relevant enough to me to show it in my feed. That's a good time for me to say, well, it must be relevant enough for my audience. And if I see it and it makes me stop and go, oh my gosh, that's hilarious, or that's funny, or that's clever, or that's such a cool craft idea. If it makes me stop in the feed, it's going to make my followers stop in the feed. And so I share it right then. It seems like it loses its momentum when I go to schedule them. And I've been scheduling things too, and they just don't do as well as when I just live share them. But that requires that you're on Facebook like all day, which I am. So it works out okay. So, I have the 3 posts a day that are scheduled. And then if I see something cool, I share it. So it's not just all or nothing. It's a combination of both. That way, if I go on vacation or I'm out of town, or like this week, my husband's going to have surgery, so I'm not going to be on Facebook, right? I'm going to be at the hospital. Then it'll, I have stuff scheduled so that it's not just dead. All right, so let's look back at these. We're looking for, I want to say it's the blue bar we want big. No, pink bar. Okay, we want pink bars that are big. So this pink bar wasn't super huge, but it was in relation to the people reached. I got a lot of comments. Oh, thanks, Micah. She said she's praying for him. Okay, so this I knew was going to get a reaction. because this is something that people have an opinion on. So this is almost kind of like a choose one type of idea, because it's like saying that it's talking about consumerism, and some people are like, but I like my stuff, and other people are like, oh my gosh, I have so much clutter, I can't stand it. And so something people very much have an opinion on. So that's what, we got in these comments. These were longer. They didn't necessarily talk to each other that much, but they were longer comments. And because the direction that I'm trying to go in my business is to talk about craft organizing on Smartphone DIY, this post, while it wasn't a viral success, gave me insight into how far I can push my people on Facebook and what kind of content I can be making. Because see, there's a sad face, right? There's a wow face. These are people that are like, wait, like I love my craft stuff. I love going to my craft room and having piles of things everywhere and knowing that if I need orange ribbon with black polka dots, I have it. So there's some people that are in that mindset that like my page. That's not the mindset that I'm in, and that's not the mindset that I'm teaching. But this gives me some insight into my people. It's like I've enjoyed my toys. That's different than just acquiring. And so this also helps me with the language to use in promoting that product that I'm going to have. So even if you're like, well, geez, this didn't do viral, there's no value in it. There is value in these comments aside from just like what I'm going to schedule next. It helps me with developing my content, helps me with the wording, helps me with the positioning so that I can maximize the most people on my page without like pissing them off. So it gives you some good insights, even though it wasn't like the best performer. All right. Okay. So here's another one. This was Target birthday party. People were very opinionated about this because I think it was a 3-year-old had Target themed birthday party. Some people were like, that's crazy. And most people were like, this is awesome. And so, some people said it's weird. This person said she wants to do it for her 50th birthday. So this got some comments, but not a ton. But it reinforces the idea, which I already knew, that because of memes, that my people love Target. Let's see what else. And you guys, I haven't been working on this. Everything that's on my page right now, other than the organic stuff, I scheduled back in March. So I haven't even been on here like doing anything. It'll still go. It's not growing huge, but it's still going. Let's see what else we got here. This one these are pretty close together. So let's see. Oh, this was a good one. Never Have I Ever, Crafter's Edition. So you've got to put, how many you've done. So we've got 36 comments. Some people just commented with their number, but this is again one of those things that people are opinionated on. So some people just did numbers, but other people have comments. Like they'd never say Mod Podge. So I already know Mod Podge crafts do really well on my Facebook page. And this whole thing about Mod Podge is a issue that people have an opinion on. So I could make some more memes about that. In fact, I think I may do that. I may take a Mod Podge bottle and change the name to Mod Podge and put it on Facebook or something. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But yeah, so you'll just this takes time, right? So I'm trying to do it here on the fly, but I literally just will sit here like, oh, this is a good one. Okay, so this is funny. I'm going to make a craft one of this. But so I put this, my middle name is Patricia. I had eaten a pork rind. And so I put that on there. This was already going viral. I had shared it from someone else, but I got 882 comments. And the golden part of this is people were talking to each other. I mean, there's 5 or 6 people in this conversation, not necessarily huge comments, but they're all talking to each other. They're all talking to each other. It's like really, really funny. So I could take this and say, okay, part of it is that it's like funny, right? How would I make this funny? I need to make a craft version of it. But also like just kind of figuring out like who my people are, right? Because they're just like, and where they're at, because some of these foods, I just don't even know what they are. Like some of them is just guys, and that's not my target audience. So I don't want to invite them to like my page either. But yeah, so there's a bunch of different crazy ones because some of these people shared to their personal, and then other people commented, how come so many people don't have a middle name? Like that may be a good meme to make, is like, do you have a middle name or not? Or do you have 2 middle names? Because there's those people that have the 4 names. Alan, Dirty Rice, and a Biscuit. So, yeah, so these are like really funny, and that has absolutely nothing to do with crafts. So I could tweak it and make one that has to do with crafts because people really liked that. This one, 208. Okay, so this they were opinionated about. Somebody had to correct me about how many pounds. I said, so this is an organizing thing. So I made it relevant to crafts. Will it hold 956 pounds of scrapbook paper? And so I got 34 comments, which is pretty good. So reading the comments, people definitely were tagging each other. So this person said that the weight limit is 600 pounds. They looked it up. Let's see. Let's go to all comments. Not write a comment. I don't want to write a comment. But they did have some conversations, but a lot of the stuff was mostly just tagging their friend. And so some of the insight I could get from this is I could get one of these or make a video of something cool like this and do that for affiliate because they're telling each other and they're clicking on it. But yeah, so I hope that is helpful to you guys. I'm going to not share my screen. I hope that gives you some ideas and some insights into some ways that you can figure out your Facebook strategy, based on data. So not just like, oh, I'm posting stuff, it does well, but actually looking at the numbers. And so kind of a quick recap of how you're going to do this would be go into your insights. You're going to identify posts that have a lot of comments, a lot of reach. Then look at the comments. Are they those meaningful interaction type comments, meaningful engagement comments, where it's, person to person, longer comments are having conversations. It's not just you and the person talking, right? You as the page admin or whatever. And then those posts that have that meaningful interaction, kind of figure out what the secret sauce was. Like just hypothesize, just brainstorm. What do I think the secret sauce of this post was? Get, 5 or 6 factors down and then combine those to make new pieces of content and then test. Does this new piece of content do well? And you will be so surprised. Like when you really start paying attention to like what your people like, it does really well. It's like super crazy. So if you guys do this test, I would love to know what your results are. And if you want to ask, you can ask questions here in the discussion, which is super awesome. And I'd love it if you shared this video. But also you can post over in our Facebook group with specific questions. Put a screenshot in there. Do a Facebook Live video and be like, I have a question about blah, blah, blah. Like, can you help me and show me what your question's about? Because I need people to ask questions in the group. So it's not just me talking. So go on over there because you can get free help and ask questions for free and I will give you answers. Thank you, Raina. She says that it's 4 a.m. there, but she hopes my husband is okay. Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's just having a surgery, but just use that as an example of like, we all have things going on in our life where we can't be here on the computer live posting every day. So make sure you do have stuff scheduled for those times in your life. All right. I hope that was helpful. I appreciate you guys being here. Again, if you have not liked my Facebook page, make sure that you like it. And also there's a button down here where you can follow Smart Creative Social so that you get notifications. That way, when we are going live, or I am going live because it's me, you'll get notifications that I'm live. And then also make sure you go and join our Smart Creative Social community group where you can get free help and connect with other people. There's like almost 900 people in there right now. So pretty darn cool. All right. I will see you guys on Thursday. I'm going to have Jenny Melrose in here. Jenny has this really amazing course about how to pitch brands, but she's doing a free challenge, and the free challenge gives you a whole ton of information, and that starts April 30th. So Jenny's going to be here on Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific to talk about what her challenge is all about, how you can sign up, etc. So make sure that you guys come over here for that too. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.